Previously on Alien Earth 616, The Dark Ages.
We don't have long. The Badoon will still be coming, and we don't have the defences. Before MI-13 was established, its predecessor organisation was Black Air. They were revealed, partly by wisdom, to be corrupt from the top down. Most of them were removed like a cancer out of the government, but there have been rumours of remnants and a resurgence of their operatives.
Apparently there's a magical healer, mystical healer in one of the nearby stations.
Perry Celsus, physician in residence of Elephant Castle.
Charles, we're both scientists. I need all of the information I can possibly get about this creature, who wants it, what for, anything you have.
I get my instructions from a woman. She's pretty senior within Black Air. She's called Michelle Skikluna. At that point, you see Badoon come racing over the top of the escalator.
Sorry! Oh no.
The remaining Badoon soldier has seen that this has turned hideously against him and dashes back up the escalator, is going to make a break back through the terminal above. You could pursue him and potentially take some ranged attacks against him, though, if you wish to stop him in his tracks.
I'm just going to keep a watch on the escalators, make sure there's no signs of any Badoon returning. Look and see if there's any other ways in here.
Making your way up to the top of the escalator, you can see the one that's fleeing across the terminal. You know there is another escalator on the other side of the platform. There is also another corridor to the north that leads deeper into the underground as well.
Yeah, that's reasonable, but our new associate has demonstrated abilities. I am MI Spin Doctor. Have I ever heard of a superhero with abilities like this in London?
Go ahead and give me a logic check, and I'm going to say this would be difficulty 13.
Oh.
Not something you're familiar with, but they don't brief you on all of these things.
No, that's reasonable. I'm looking at this blackened thumb held up by this, what was supposed to be doctor. I'm like, all right, he's a professional pharmacist as well. Noted.
Technically a nurse.
He's just gonna wipe his hands down. You can see where some of the weird coloration of his clothes is him cleaning off the effects of his own power. And he's going to start pulling this soldier that he's next to up against the wall with the other two at the bottom of the escalator, just so we can keep an eye on him.
We should really get out of here before more of them show up.
Yeah, sure. Where exactly?
So we've got a bunker about an hour's walk from here, which has food and water and a means of communication that we can call for assistance, but it is towards the Badoon lines.
No, I spent too much time patching these people up. I am not comfortable with sending them back into the direction of the enemy.
Okay.
They're not here for negotiation. They're here to exterminate us.
Forgive me for the bluntness, but you're an extraordinary individual. Who are you with, or who were you with?
The NHS.
Yeah, that's not what I was meaning.
I didn't have a team, if that's what you're angling at. I have the ability to manipulate the inner workings of people. I can use it to help them, and I can also use it to hurt them. I got by in the NHS by helping people feel a little bit less worse than they did, like helping recovery along, and I didn't make anything too flashy about it.
Are you trying to tell me that you were a civilian that had these powers and kept them under wraps?
I'm a mutant, of course I did.
Well, congratulations, you're working with MI-13 today.
And what?
Come on.
Well, hang.
He'll just kind of put his arm around you and start pushing towards the escalator.
Well, I've got a responsibility to these people. Like, where am I going to?
We're going to take them somewhere else. We can't keep them here, and we can't go back to that safe house. I think you're right.
You see Priya and Gaz step out. Perry, we're fine. We're in as good a nick as we're going to be in. There's a big enough group of us now. They kind of gesture at Emily and Theo. We could probably get to safety. We can probably take this woman with us as well, this lieutenant. If you can help other people with these people, we don't want to get in the way of them. And you're right, we don't want to go in towards the Badoon forces, but it sounds like you might need to. You will remember the address you were given. I think I said Chapel Hall. It's Whitehall. Chapel Hall's in Scotland. Whitehall will take you to very near Ground Zero, where the impact happened, which means that Black Air have their base very close to the alien ship from the sounds of it.
Okay. MI13, what information do you have that we can get these people on a safe route? Where should they not go?
Private Michael says, I know the route to the evacuation from the Walworth compound. I can get them on track with Lieutenant Roberts. I'm happy to lead them.
They'd have armed guard that way.
Well, an armed guard.
You're the best we've got, Michaels.
Motormouth limps over. She says, I'll go with them. Not in the best shape, but I've got enough energy to probably put one good blast out if I need to.
If you get to the evacuation and you see Director Wisdom, can get him to call us, please? He's not picking up.
If Pete's not picking up, he's probably got a good reason.
I'm sure he does, but could you ask him to call us, please?
If I reach out to him, I'll let him. She kind of looks down at the Badoon that's still frying on the tracks. Yeah, I'll try and get him in touch. What are we doing with him? And she kind of gestures at Dr. Charles.
Dr. Charles has given us the location of the Black Air base. I think you should take him with you and get him to the evacuation zone. If nothing else, there's probably a whole lot of people there who could use help.
I'll keep an eye on him. We'll take your friend as well. I'll make sure she gets the treatment she needs. And they bring out Snapshot. All right, we've got our motley crew, says Motormouth. Private Michaels, consider yourself temporarily promoted to lead this ensemble. See Private Michaels pulls out his sidearm, checks it. All right, everybody, avoid the third rail. We're going north. And you watch as this collection of civilians led by a single soldier and a heavily injured MI13 agent make their way over with Snapshot and Lieutenant Roberts and begin to make their way to, hopefully, an evacuation point, leaving the four of you alone.
You know what I thought this was? I thought our base of operations here was going to be the scene from the aliens after they get their arses kicked at the beginning, and then we were just like the surviving band that come back out here. That's why I was looking for a way to steal the place off. No way to put the gun turrets up.
Since I've been drafted, what's your story?
Are you talking to any of us in specific or just the group in general?
Whoever feels like speaking up first, honestly.
Well, I normally media relations for our division of government. However, this is a bit of an all-hands-on-deck situation, as you've seen over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I can.
I am also an extraordinary individual, though you haven't seen it. I am tethered to a vengeful spirit. That's what I'm going to refer to him as.
Okay. He looks at the firearms and goes, got a lot of firearms training in media relations? Or is that the MI13 thing?
No, that's the past 6 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, my apologies. It feels like a long time.
Seems like 6.
4 weeks of training, 2 weeks of actual service. Okay. And people called you Doctor? He says, looking at the suit.
Yes, I'm going to disengage from the suit briefly. Sorry, Dr. Simon Appleby goes to awkwardly shake your hand.
Yeah, he shakes it.
Okay. Yes, I was also drafted. I am an expert in strange and unusual life forms. Perhaps the Pioneer armor. The Pioneer Mark 1 is designed to resist the crush depth of 5,000 fathoms. It's recently been put to make glances at the Badoon that's still jittering on the third rail. Are they uses that I didn't originally intend for?
Oh, I'm glad it's on our side. It shares the nod of somebody who's doing harm against their best intentions and looks to Lionheart.
Yeah, I'm Lionheart. I'm with the police.
Okay, standard issue Claymore. I see it. Right, let's be about it then.
Yeah. Armed response, yeah.
Is the subway station normally open when London's not under attack?
Yeah.
A thought occurred to me. If we need to get to Whitehall, it might be better to follow the subway lines. You've been under here for quite a while. Perry, was it?
Yeah, sorry, Perry Celsius.
Perry Celsius, right. So it's possible that the Badoon haven't really been using these tunnels.
Oh, yeah, people came through. Not had any unfriendly visitors, at least. This was the first case of it. So if we are going to take the tunnels, we're going to want to be careful in case they're starting to get brave in delving.
You would all know that for Whitehall, the closest underground stations would typically be Westminster, which you're probably not going to want to go to because that is literally where the Badoon ship crash landed. But the next closest would be Charing Cross.
But this will be the Bakerloo line, right?
Yes.
Charing Cross would be that way, yes?
Yep. And should be close enough to pop out near where it is you're going, I suppose, or where we're going now. Let me gather some of my things, grab some whatever's left in the rations, and we'll get going.
We still need to take this cooler with us?
Well, yes. Don't want to leave it.
Okay.
Actually, do you know what? I have a solution. This suit that I've got, it's designed for collecting samples under the ocean.
Mhm.
Is it possible or reasonable that I might have a sample container, given that the thing is sort of hand-sized, it's smaller than the egg that it came out of?
Mhm.
Is there maybe a container that I'm within the suit that I might be able to just pop the sample inside of?
Yes, I think that's reasonable. It will take up pretty much all of your containment space because it's not really designed for larger samples. It would have been designed for smaller samples, but you would be able to repurpose it to probably squeeze the facehugger in.
Put in here. If you're getting anything from the shop, we haven't had any breakfast yet. Find a packet of crisps or something.
I could murder some quavers.
I mean, I've got some Monster Munch.
It'll do.
Perry will hand out various rations. Probably not the best thing to be having on a truly empty stomach, but it will do for now. So that lady that left with the others, was she part of your team?
In a sort of technical sense, she's our boss.
Okay.
Encountered with a different type of alien. That's why she was
Right.
all scarred.
Right. More of them out there, is there?
That's what we are going to try and find out.
City full, from my understanding.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I like finding things out. All right. Culture's contemplating briefly the third rail before hopping onto the plank and into the thoroughfare between the tracks.
Okay, you hop down onto the tracks and you begin the walk up to Whitehall. The four of you make your way down into the underground tunnels that will lead from your current location, the Elephant and Castle station, and make your way to Charing Cross. From there you'll be able to hopefully reach your destination. The walk takes you about 45 minutes and is rather disconcerting. You find yourselves almost jumping at shadows quite frequently. It's very dark down here. A lot of the stations, especially as you draw closer and closer to Whitehall, are not powered. So you are walking in either darkness or near darkness. Now, Pioneer has some illumination that it can afford you, but it's not much to go off. So you are walking in less than ideal circumstances, and frequently you'll hear shifts and movement that maybe cause you to pause, concerned that it's potentially Badoon or perhaps something worse. But mercifully, the journey is uneventful. What you do discover, though, is as you get closer and closer to Whitehall, it becomes very clear that there isn't any power here. A lot of these stations have been picked over, probably in the immediate aftermath of the crash, and you do unfortunately find some bodies in some of the stations as you draw closer to Whitehall. Eventually, about an hour, once you've stopped a few times to check there's no signs of any danger, you arrive at Charing Cross. You have been walking at a steady pace for an hour. You've not done anything too strenuous, so you can give yourself a point of health and a point of focus back. Coming out of Charing Cross station is a scene of chaos. You've been in this vicinity before. St. Thomas's Hospital is not too far from where you currently are, but you can see the destruction in the surrounding area from the initial impact, and you can see the chaos of the panic and the evacuation, and more significantly from the Badoon attacks. Can you all give me a vigilance check? This is difficult, so it's going to be target number 13.
Look at the level of professionalism there.
Wow, you all succeed at that. So everybody succeeded. Lionheart got a fantastic success. What you do all notice, it's very obvious that the Badoon came through this area. You can see signs of destruction, energy weapon fire, casualties, unfortunately. but it all looks pretty old. At least a week, maybe a little older. With your fantastic success, Lionheart, there's no real signs of any significant Badoon presence, probably for the last week. Given that you all passed, you can also all then make me a logic check. This is also target number 13. Okay, everybody except for Cauldron. They kind of make sense, actually, given your experiences. In the last few days, as you've been encountering the Badoon, they have been moving further and further away from this site, and you have logically assumed that it's probably them pushing their offensive. But they don't seem to have any foundational base of operations that they're pushing from. It's almost like they're pushing away, but they're not holding any ground. It's an unusual battle tactic to push out and not leave any kind of fortification or presence in your aftermath.
They're maybe trying to fight their way out, or...
I think they're running away from the other creatures.
Yeah.
I mean, that there's going to be more of them there.
I really wish you didn't say that.
Oh, you don't know the half of it.
Entirely possible.
You're going to like this even less. Director Wisdom, you were talking to him last about the creatures. He said that some of them have been seen moving around ship, as in plural. And I also heard from Holly Davis that there's something big within the ship. It's possible that the creatures are the reason that the ship crashed.
Well, it's a good thing we're not going into the ship, right?
Not going into the ship, but we're going perilously close to it.
You just keep on getting better. We've seen the damage that just one of those things can do.
Yeah. Saw several burn marks on the woman I was patching up as well.
Yes, they have a sort of concentrated acid for blood. The biological implications of which are absolutely off the chart.
Whilst you're saying that, Perry is just nodding along, but he's looking at his hands. I don't know if I can do anything about that. I've never tried. I haven't had the experience of a creature that doesn't bleed normally. It was a push with a Badoon.
Given the nature of my condition, I've personally never fought them, but my alter has. My compatriots here tell me they're bad news.
Okay, no offense. I will not be joining you on the front line. I will do my best.
From here, as you come out of Charing Cross and make your way into Whitehall, you have a clear visual. As you look south from Whitehall, you can actually see past where Big Ben would have been to the Houses of Parliament. And while you've seen the devastation, you've never really seen the crash site beyond some footage taken at the time. But now you kind of have a clear visual to this large alien vessel crashed into the Houses of Parliament. Plumes of smoke, much thinner now than they would have been at the point of impact weeks ago, but still these thin plumes of smoke and maybe even small fires still occasionally breaking out across the crash site. It is not a quiet scene, even now. It's a lot to take in.
I don't think anything's ever going to be the same again.
You have the address in hand for the privately owned convenience store that is apparently the front to this Black Air site.
And let's head to it.
Alright, lead on.
Okay. You move through the streets of Whitehall as you turn up at this small, unassuming convenience store. Looks to be closed. One of the windows has been boarded up, presumably from damage from the impact. The lights are off. Doesn't look to be anybody home.
Try the door to see if it'll just open up.
It does not open.
Should we peer in the windows? Do we spot anyone looking around?
Yeah, you peer in the windows. Go ahead and give me a vigilance check. Why not?
10.
You glance in. No signs of anyone present. There looks to be a back room that you can't really see into. You do notice that all the shelves are fully stocked. This place hasn't been looted. It looks like almost the perfect visual of a convenience store.
Maybe they have quavers inside there.
I'd like to use my machine telepathy and check the wireless signals and see if there's any kind of machine inside that I can connect with.
Yeah, give me a logic. This would be difficulty 13.
So I think 11 is the final number there.
I will say for everybody, you can give yourself a point of karma back as you have helped rescue innocents by escorting the people from the Walworth base and then setting the group on from the underground.
Reroll or waste. 12.
Very unlucky. What I will say, you can certainly detect there are computer signals in the localized area. Definitely an active connection, which in and of itself in this environment seems unusual. I would also say just with your foundational knowledge, although you can't really get into it, it seems a little more advanced than you would expect to see around a convenience store.
This is definitely not a normal convenience store. There's some kind of machine intelligence inside. But I can't connect with it. I could always try forcing the door.
We could let George out if you're willing to instruct him to turn back to me when he gets through. George could phase through.
Are you okay with that? Does it hurt when you become George?
I don't really feel anything, I'm just not there.
Why are we trying to be subtle about this? Why don't we just wrench the door open?
Because there's people that are not in their right mind that have been assaulting us and trying to take items off of us linked to this place.
Oh, I mean, that's a good answer, I guess. Yeah, let's go with the ghost idea.
Okay, just tell him what to do. He should, I hope. Just kind of shudder, limber up and welcome Mackenzie out.
Okay, you feel that chill up your spine as everything sort of fades into a greeny blackness and then Mackenzie takes over.
When he said ghost, I was imagining, I don't know what I was imagining, actually.
Your Honor, we have come to this place because there's some very bad people. The ones who attacked the base and killed all those soldiers. We think they're inside this building. We were wondering if you could go inside and have a look around, maybe open the door from the other side, get us in.
George looks at you with those baleful eyes like you've just hideously insulted him. Do I look like some kind of concierge? Do you want me to open the door for you, my boy? Do you want to shine your shoes?
Sorry?
I like him. He's got sass.
Who the hell are you?
Perry Celsus, newest member of your motley crew, apparently.
And he'll just phase through the wall.
Okay.
He's a right cranky old bastard, isn't he?
I think we can still hear you.
I like him.
Mackenzie floats through the door into the convenience store. You see this relatively small store, shelves lined with the most recent products filled to the fronts. The window has been boarded up, but otherwise it looks to be in good condition. There's a counter at the back of the shop behind the shelves, behind which you can see a door that leads into a back room, presumably.
Yeah, Mackenzie will look around the shop. He's been told what to do. He's in no rush to comply. He will eventually, though.
Go for it. This is difficulty 13. All appears to be in place.
Exactly, it's one of these awful modern shops. He'll poke his everything into that back room and have a look.
Okay, you move to the back room and you poke your head through the door and something feels off. There's like this twinge of discomfort that you feel, even phased. And as you materialize on the other side of the door, the judge is inside what to him appears to be a metallic cube. I would say that the judge has manifested enough that he can identify this as an elevator.
Yeah.
But it doesn't fit with the aesthetic of the store at all.
Wrong. He doesn't like that. He's not going to go down or up or go out of the elevator. He will come back, and when he gets back towards the front door, he'll shift back to Christopher.
Christopher, you materialise inside this shop.
Yeah, he'll see these guys are still outside and start looking around for a way to open the door.
Okay. From this side, you can just unbolt and unlock the door.
Thank you.
Perry grabs the Twix and unwraps it.
You reach out and grab the Twix and your hand goes through it. And there's like this weird distortion around your hand.
Oh, of course, it's a hologram. That makes sense.
It's a really expensive way to prevent shoplifting, I guess. It's just who exactly are we dealing with?
Bad people.
Alright.
It's an organisation called Black Air.
Okay.
They probably have quite a lot of resources. I had a fight with them this morning.
like heir to the throne, or heir the stuff we're breathing?
I've not seen it written down, so I can't really tell you. It did arrive by helicopter, though, so I do feel it might be air as in air we're breathing.
Okay.
Knowing that everything in here is a hologram, Tom, I'm just going to make my way in through the door, kind of duck and turn sideways in order to squeeze in, and then walk through the shelves.
As you walk through, you pass through any elements, whether it's the shelves or the displays. They kind of just distort around you. There's no physicality to them. Even the counter at the back, as you maybe go and just sort of check it's not physical before you walk into it, your hand phases through it and you're able to walk through it. And then you've got this back wall within the very middle of it. There's this wooden door.
If I can just open the wooden door.
You reach for the door handle, but the door handle just distorts around your hand as well.
Okay, and we're gonna reach through where I think the wooden door is and try and feel out the actual area of the door, maybe kind of map it up on the heads-up display, try and work out how to open this thing.
Okay, give me vigilance with trouble. The difficulty is 11.
Okay, 14, but then I have to re-roll the 6.
Still got 12. You feel around, follow this back wall. In the middle, there is definitely what looks to be a sliding elevator door that you can feel just beyond the projection. The wall to the far right gives way, and there's clearly a narrow corridor beyond the wall, it feels like.
Got a corridor, elevator door.
As you step through the wall, you come out on the other side of it, and you can still see the wall behind you. Ahead of you, there is a very short, perhaps 5 feet of corridor, and then there's a set of stairs that seem to wind around a central elevator shaft.
Pop back through. Actually, do you know what? It's a staircase that takes you down the same way as the elevator.
No.
Want to just take the stairs, or do you want to try the elevator?
Does this constitute an emergency situation where we shouldn't?
I think it might be easier to react if they have a nasty surprise for us if we take the stair.
Right.
Couple of low stairs support your suit. Does it look sturdy?
Sturdy concrete stairs.
Concrete, you gotta love it. Might slip a little bit, but I think I should be okay.
Okay, stairs it is.
You all step through this wall and find yourself on the other side, making your way down this very grey concrete staircase that winds around what you presume is the elevator shaft. As you come around, as if you're coming back to the other side of the elevator, Pioneer, are you at the front?
Yeah, probably. If someone's gonna shoot us, they're probably better shooting me.
You see it opens up into a small room. You see to the left of you is an elevator door. On either side of the room, there is a double door leading into the facility. Stood directly in front of you are a man and a woman, both wearing white shirts with black suits, both holding pistols raised at you. One of them, the woman, puts her hand to her ear and says, "The targets have entered the facility.
Hello.
Can you put those guns down, please?
You're trespassing on a government facility."
Now, it's funny you should say that, because we have reason to believe that some of your people are also trespassing in a government facility not 3 hours ago.
Regardless of what you believe, you are trespassing. Drop your weapons, step out of your armor, and surrender to our custody.
I thought we were with the government.
Yeah, hold on. There's some confusion here.
We don't answer to you. Disarm.
This is going to get incredibly awkward or incredibly violent, and I prefer it just remain awkward. Can we all agree to lower our weapons so we can talk about this?
I think that's very wise. You hear a voice from around the corner, and a blonde woman, she's not wearing her sunglasses inside, she's not that cool. She says, "We need to talk. My name is Michelle Skigluna. You're in a Black Air facility. We are not what you think we are."
Well, that's a relief.
What we think you are the people who attacked us this morning at Walworth Base.
That is correct, but that was done under false pretenses. Please, stand down, step out of your armor, lower your weapons, and let's talk. And she sort of gestures, and you see the two agents lower their firearms.
I'll lower my rifle. My pistol's in its holster.
I've got my arms folded and I have no clear weaponry.
I'll keep my blade sheath.
I'm not gonna do anything, but I'm not gonna get out of my armor so you can shoot me either. You could just take my word that I'm not gonna do anything violent.
While I trust your word, Doctor, I can't have that thing walking around my complex. You can either step out or remain here under guard.
Dr. Appleby looks very, very nervous, but he will comply.
She nods. Thank you. We are not your enemies. We are another wing of the same government that you serve, the same agenda that you serve. Our interests align with your own. Unfortunately, Director Wisdom holds a grudge and refuses to work with us. We were forced to take direct action to try and ensure the safety of Britain. Now, if you'll come with me, I'm happy to show you around the facility, show you what we're doing here, and perhaps we can help each other.
I'll lock up the armor.
So I'm going to say out of character, I do not buy a word of what she's just said. However, the best way to find out what they're up to is to comply. So
this is one of our secure facilities, a smaller facility, but it is the closest one to the crash site, so it has become a preliminary facility for the time being. She steps up to the door to her left, swipes a card, and it opens. Please, follow me, I'll show you around. She leads you into a corridor that kind of leads left and right. Very sterile environment, very sort of grey and white walls. She kind of leads you around the corner. You see an agent posted up in front of several doors. There are kind of green and red hazard markings on the floor as she steps past. She says, "This is one of our R&D centres within the complex. We are relatively thin on the ground manpower-wise at the moment, but we have a number of top men working on research into dealing with the threat that you have faced so far. We'll step in here. I apologise, this is a decontamination room, so you will feel a momentary jet." She steps into the room, the door kind of seals behind her. You see like a jet of... and then she kind of exits onto the other side and beckons for you to follow. You step in, door closes behind you, there's this jet of relatively chemically smelling things, and then you step out into this lab. You see several scientists wearing hazmat suits working with various biological samples. They seem to be running through different tests at desks. There's a couple of them. There's a few different terminals that show different data as well that they seem to be compiling. She says, "We have tried to collect as many samples from the Badoon as possible, but they have not been recognized as the primary threat. We believe the Badoon are fleeing from whatever this threat they have brought with them is. I'm aware you've already encountered one of these creatures at St. Thomas's. We have taken to calling them xenomorphs.
That just means alien life form.
I didn't name them. We have tried to gather as much intelligence as we can so we can complete various tests." She kind of leads you through the room. You see more decontamination chambers. A couple of scientists are working on various things. You see a mechanical arm that looks to have what look like acidic covered biological material. You recognize this as clearly some of the internal components of a xenomorph on the counter.
I'm going to turn around to the scientists and say, "Oh, that's very interesting. Have you been able to determine the pH of the acid?"
One of the scientists kind of looks at you and looks at Michelle. She kind of nods. He kind of turns his screen so that you can see the data that he's collected, showing detail on the acid, what they've used to like neutralize it, how volatile it is, which, as you know, is incredibly. She says, "Yes, we've managed to ascertain a lot of information, but there's still a lot we don't know. That's one of the reasons why we were trying to obtain the egg. It is one of the elements of these creatures we do not know a lot about yet." The laboratory on the other side of the complex is of a similar purpose, she says, as she kind of leads you back the way you came, back to the elevator room and into another lab. You go through a similar decontamination process and are led into a lab that for all intents and purposes mirrors the layout of the one you just went into. But as you're kind of going into it, she says, "We've been comparing the samples from the xenomorph here to try and see if there's any links to any previous alien life forms that have been encountered."
As she's going through the doorway, I'm just going to say to the others, if they have one of these things alive in here, we need to go. We need to leave. I've seen these movies too many times before.
You've seen the alien movies?
Just movies where a monster gets like captured by a government body and then breaks out and takes havoc and he takes revenge.
Again, a couple of scientists in here, one of them working on a computer desk, and you see that he's got like what look to be DNA samples and they're trying to like match to other DNA samples. Another scientist further in is sitting at a desk and he has a cylindrical containment unit in front of him, and inside you see this like obsidian black glossy liquid. Looks very similar to the xenomorph's carapace, but then you see it like shift and like whip up, move around within this chamber Michelle stops next to him, says, "Any matches?" He kind of shakes his head. "Is there any response when we expose it to the xenomorph tissue?" And the scientist says, "Volatile."
Down here.
As you can see, we're dealing with something very unfamiliar. We've linked in with other organizations across the world as much as we've been able to in the current climate. AIM have been able to provide some insight from the States. They seem to have had similar experiences with this, although it seems this xenomorph is not the only new alien life form to have appeared on Earth in the aftermath of this invasion gone wrong. I trust I have earned some degree of trust from you at this point.
I'm not strictly going to agree with that statement, I'm afraid.
Very well. I have something else to show you. Come with me. And she leads you out of this chamber through the decontamination again and leads you back out to the elevator room. She guides you all into the elevator. See, she turns a key in it and the elevator moves down to a level below. You all kind of squeeze in. She says, "This is where we have been carrying out more practical research." As she steps out, you see a figure step out from round the corner, looks almost immediately on alert as he sees you stepping out the lift. She raises a hand. This is a man. He has like slicked back black hair, rather fierce goatee. He's wearing like black bodysuit with like red trim on it and kind of decorative patterns. Has very much the garb of a superhero or supervillain that you've seen before. She kind of raises her hand. She says, "It's fine, Tom," giving them the talk. Tom sort of nods, glowers at you, says in a thick Irish accent that I'm not going to dare impersonate. He says, "Any trouble, Michelle?" She just nods. And he steps back into the shadows.
I will ask the question, Tom, do we recognise him?
Go ahead and give me a logic check. I would say this would be challenging, so target number 11. So Pioneer got a 14 with a fantastic success. Christopher, you got a 15. Lionheart, you got a 14. Cauldron, you failed. So yeah, everybody but Cauldron, you will recognise from the appearance and the name, this looks to be an individual known as Black Tom Cassidy. He is a relatively well-known villain for the most part, originally from Dublin. He is a mutant who has a power set that predominantly is based around manipulating plant matter amongst varying other skills, but that's what he's kind of best known for. He has this like wooden stave or staff that it seems to be somewhat tethered to his powers. It's not really clear to you whether it is the source of his powers or just a channel for it or perhaps a manifestation of it. But he has been well known for working with a myriad of criminal organizations, including more locally the IRA, but also overseas in the States as well. He's built quite a reputation. He has a rather close friendship with the American villain known as the Juggernaut as well, and has also been a member of the Brotherhood of Mutants. He has been known to try and turn things around, though. There have been multiple reports of him trying to kind of redeem himself, and perhaps with your fantastic success on that Pioneer, for whatever reason, this is someone that's been on your radar, perhaps because of his connection to plant matter and your own interest in biological things. He has had a bit of a redemption during the Krakoan age of mutants, where he was rather heavily tied into Krakoa itself. What his allegiances are at the moment, you're not 100% sure, but certainly not someone to underestimate. Michelle says, "These are our detention centers. We keep a number of entities here for safekeeping. We also conduct autopsies to try and get more information. What I'm going to show you is obviously confidential as part of a government organization. I'm sure you can understand that." And she leads you to the right of the elevator to a double door. She swipes a card through it and it opens into a long corridor that she leads you down. It kind of turns off to the right. She swipes a card again and it opens, and she says, "I'd ask you to stay behind the yellow line." And you see in here, lying on an operating table, there is a xenomorph corpse that has been pulled open. Various entrails have been pulled out from within. 2 scientists wearing hazmat suits are very cautiously working on it. Can Pioneer, Lionheart, and Mackenzie all go ahead and give me a vigilance check? Not Cauldron. This is difficulty 11.
I'm going to use my karma to reroll one of those.
Okay. You all succeed. You 3 recognize the injuries on this xenomorph's body. This is the xenomorph that you took down at St. Thomas's. She says, our autopsy of this creature has allowed us to learn a significant amount about their biology and the threat that they pose.
Can confirm they are a big bloody threat.
Yes. This one looks familiar. We picked it up at St. Thomas's Hospital, yes?
We did, after your encounter with them. Very astute. As you step forward, Mackenzie, she puts her hand on your chest, and kind of...
You said stay behind the line. I'm staying behind the line.
Very good. Don't go any further forward, though. This thing is still volatile, even deceased. You see the scientists moving around it, and they're like carving things and moving them into trays. You see them putting like neutralizing agents into the acid. We have a common enemy. Regardless of our previous encounter, we want the same thing. We want to protect the people of London. We want to protect the country as a whole. I have resources and I have information. I can help you.
I'm going to look back from inside the room at the remainder of our group. I don't know if they're hearing all the buzzwords. Maybe it's my time as a spin doctor. I don't like anything I've seen or heard down
Are
here.
you saying that or just thinking?
I'm just thinking that, but I've not got an impressed look on my face. Probably more Pioneer and Lionheart will get that, because you've known me longer.
I would say that Pioneer looks very conflicted. This is pure research, and it's kind of what he feels he should have been doing in the first place, rather than running about London hitting things.
I think Lionheart would be kind of neutral, not revealing anything at the moment.
What is the aim of your research?
Ideally, we need to find a way to combat the threat. The more we know about these creatures, the more we know what we're dealing with, how we can best neutralize them, oppose them, and ultimately defeat them.
How long have you known about these other creatures, these xenomorphs, Michelle?
Give me an ego check. Difficulty 13.
Oh, it's not quite.
Do you want to burn that other karma?
I've only got one karma, I've used it.
Or one of you could join in and potentially help as well if you have something you want to contribute.
I'll sort of ease things along by sounding a bit unformed and say, yeah, these things weren't at St. Thomas's when I left. It's only been 2 weeks. How long have you had this information? And I'll try and give Mackenzie the help.
Go ahead, you can re-roll one of your die with that help.
The walls come down even further.
That brings it up to a 14, re-rolling the 2 into a 4. She says, we knew there was something more to this within a few days of the Badoon landing in London. As I mentioned earlier, we've had contact with some operatives within AIM in the US who were exposed slightly earlier than we were to these creatures. That tip led us to send our own teams into the crash site, and much like yourself, we sustained heavy losses in doing so. But we encountered these creatures before MI13 did.
But you didn't share this information with MI13 or with Excalibur when you have the best faults of the nation in mind.
Excalibur had already perished before we had any information. MI13, as I say, are not interested in working with us. Director Wisdom and I have history.
Why should your history cloud the betterment of England, the United Kingdom?
That is a question better put to Pete.
I would say that's a question for you too, Michelle. You could have been the bigger person here. You might have cost a lot of lives.
I am being the bigger person. We're having this conversation now.
Forgive me, Michelle, but you have to understand, you know my record, you know their names, so you must know mine, you must know about me. This doesn't look good. Secret underground facility, working with known criminals, aliens being dissected, mysterious labs, other aliens being tested on. This doesn't... I'm sorry, I don't trust you.
She smirks. He says, I appreciate that, but do you believe MI13 would be doing anything differently if they had the resources? What do you think Dr. Appleby would be doing if you had access to this creature? Do you think that they don't have a file on Perry about his capabilities.
He looks anxious.
We are, by our nature, clandestine organizations. We work in the shadows. We don't openly share information. I'm openly sharing this information with you as a show of good faith, to pool our resources and push back a threat. Now you can decline my offer, go back on the streets and try and deal with this threat on your own. You can smash up my lab and my facility and achieve nothing but draining your own resources. Or we can work together and we can deal with this threat permanently.
Mr. Kingston Baker, I think there's a real point there. This is exactly what I was wanting to do as soon as we had any contact with the alien. And I can't say that the presence of a known criminal and terrorist being here makes me happy, nor can I say that all the people dying at Woolworth makes this feel any easier, but there's something we could learn here.
There is, Dr. Appleby. I would just caution against honeyed words delivered at a peak time.
Ironic for someone who delivers honeyed words.
Is it not just safer to destroy all crazy creatures?
Eventually. That will be the prudent thing to do.
If they're that dangerous, why?
So you propose that we combine our departments and work together?
I do.
Okay, I have a proposition.
She's listening.
You have more manpower than we have here, and there are still people within this city. You have agents. Contribute them towards evacuating the last of the civilians, finding the last of the enhanced individuals. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this properly.
And in exchange?
We cooperate.
Are you all in agreement with Christopher?
I sort of put my hands up as like, hey, I just got drafted early today. So, yeah.
I just got here, man.
I'm willing to help.
He has a non-committal nod.
Our resources are spread thin, but I have some operatives I can position to help with any remaining stragglers. If that's what it will take to bring you on board, then I'm willing to do that.
You make a show of good faith and we'll make a show of good faith. That's how this is going to work.
She extends a hand to you, Christopher. We have a deal.
Christopher will extend it and shake it.
And that is where we will leave tonight's session.